This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Good morning and welcome to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. My name is Trenton Magid. My usual tenacious co-host, Jeff Beals, is proud to announce that his oldest, Jack Beals, is graduating today from Millard West, so I want to congratulate Jack Beals. Very excited. I'm joined by a couple fellas that I see almost every week and sometimes during the week in the studio today. To my right, I have Brad Williams, who is my guest co-host. Brad is a regular contributor, does a lot of stuff with Grow Omaha. He is also the creator of the Brad Williams Grow Omaha Construction Update. Brad Williams Photography, which is amazing. If you ever need a photographer, just want to see his pictures at bradwilliamsphotography.com. And you're also a principal at ENA Consulting Group. You're a busy guy, Brad.
Yeah, it's hard to get going or keep everything going.
But thanks for coming back and filling in for Jeff once again. And also joined behind the camera, if you go to our website, growomaha.com, you can see the great works of Chris Corey. Chris is a filmmaker, videographer, website designer, and he is now a food critic. He does food reviews, movie reviews. If you go to growomaha.com, you can see Chris Corey's work. So thank you, Chris. He's off camera, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's going to be a very informative and fun show today. We have Mark Bowder joining us in the next segment. Mark is the executive director of Builders of the Future program that has a mission to locate, encourage, and educate the next generation of construction trade specialists. Very important to pay it forward. There's a lot of companies that are involved in trades and companies that aren't involved in the trades that empower that group. So we look forward to talking to him the next segment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you have kids or grandkids who you want to develop tumbling and stunning skills, you should check out Cheer Athletics Omaha. Go to caomaha.com to register your athlete and join the All-Star Cheer Revolution. Located at 146 and Gold Coast Road in Papillion, Cheer Athletics Omaha competes at the highest level of all-star cheer, which differs from traditional cheer teams in that its primary purpose is competition, while school cheer involves crowd leading and other school roles. So without further ado, Brad, the development news of the week, sponsored by Eagle Mortgage. Eagle Mortgage Company has been in business for about 32 years. They're licensed mortgage brokers serving Nebraska and Iowa. They have free consultations. They get you pre-approved. You need that pre-approval letter. Have you seen signs coming up in your neighborhood with for sale signs?
I don't even see the for sale. I just see
the sold,
coming soon and then sold, and it was never on the market, and it had multiple offers in one day on the market.
Well, look up Holly Schneiderwind, 114th and Davenport, Eagle Mortgage. They do conventional VA and FHA. They will sit down with you, explain the process, get you a pre-approval letter, and then they will shop your loan to many different lenders. So it's not like going to a bank where you have to fit and check all their boxes. They're going to make your loan specialized. So go online at eaglemortgagecompany.com, and they will take care of you. There's a lot going on in our city. This week, our fabulous mayor, Gene Stothert, did the State of the City address. It was called the State of the City, Milestones, Miracles, and Momentum. And that was on May 20th. And that was her 11th State of the City. And what I really like about Gene Stothert is she's not looking to run for a higher office. This wasn't ever a stepping stone. She is the first mayor in Nebraska's history to get a third term. She's the first female mayor. But most importantly, she's proactive. And when we talk about a list of what's happening from a development standpoint, I think she ranks up there with if not the best mayor we've ever had, but certainly up there.
Yeah, if you go around town right now, there is so much construction development activity going on that she highlights in her State of the City. She also highlighted a lot of other things that you wouldn't see, just visually when you're around town. As far as all the good things that came out of the bad situation with the tornado, all the volunteers that helped out with that, all the money that was raised, and then got into some of the crime and how a lot of the crime has gone down. So there's just a lot of good things going on right now.
And it wasn't just Mayor Stother, but her team at the city, the planning department, city council. Here's just a few of the fun facts. Omaha Rapid Response estimates that 14,000 volunteers showed up in the first 9 days after the tornado disaster to volunteer. Together, the Salvation Army, Red Cross, United Way of the Midlands, and Omaha Community Foundation have raised approximately $3.5 million to help our neighbors in need. And those are things that are part of the State of the City address, but it creates the, I hate to say it, but it's the Omaha nice. And that's all part of it. And that's why she said that the website Livability is once again named Omaha as one of the best places to live in America in 2024, saying Omaha is perfect for families and young professionals. And also Forbes Home just ranked Omaha number 1 on its list of best places to move to in 2024, giving us a perfect score, which the second city was 83%.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, we've been up in the top of a lot of lists, but to be number 1 on the Forbes list was really cool to see.
Yeah, what's really interesting too is people want to go to cities where there's not a lot of crime, there's not a lot of panhandling and things like that. And what was interesting is that overall crime in Omaha was down last year in 23, 14% lower than 22, with one exception, motor vehicle theft, which is what we hear about those Kia and the Hyundai thefts. They got to get a retrofit for those.
And that's not an Omaha problem. That's
national.
Yeah.
The number of non-fatal shootings dropped 29% in 23 from the year before. And then the fun fact that I thought was neat was the clearance rate. The solved crimes for making arrests is up. They've solved a lot more crimes. In 2023, the homicide clearance rate was 100%, which is almost unheard of, meaning that they solved all the homicides.
Yeah. No wanted people for murder from last year.
And that makes our cities pretty safe, don't you think? The other thing, too, that people, when it comes to development, people talk about our taxes. And interestingly, people see their real estate taxes going up mainly because their assessed values are going up, and it's been one of the hottest real estate markets nationwide, but certainly in Omaha. So Mayor Stother is proud, and she's working on her 2025 budget, and she's going to reduce property taxes levy again. It'll be her 5th levy reduction for a total of 9%. The levy is at its lowest since 2010. So even though your taxes might be going up, the levy part of it, and she realized and she mentioned that other agencies in the state, and I know Governor Pillen's been trying to reduce property taxes because, for one, if we have to have higher property taxes, if we have city services, the roads are good, it all adds to a better community.
And speaking of roads, she highlighted that, 8,000 lane miles have been repaved since that $200 million bond issue
was great. And think about all of the tower cranes that are going up. And she mentioned just a lot of projects, hotel occupancy. So tourism is good, and the events that we're having here and conferences. Hotel occupancy in Omaha is the highest in 16 years. Hotels brought in a record-breaking $271 million in revenue in 2023. Also, which a lot of people talk about, every time we post on the Grow Omaha page and Facebook or on our website, affordable housing, every time there's an apartment project, people will get on there and they want to know about affordable housing. Well, the largest commitment from the city yet, $60 million in a partnership with Front Porch Investments. The city is creating to preserve affordable housing and make it accessible for renters and buyers. So they are. What I like about Stother's administration is they're tackling everything, and it seems like they're making progress and everything. They're not just spreading themselves too far and wide, but they're making a difference, and there's a lot of continuity over the last 10 years.
And she hired a homeless coordinator to also kind of help, on the other end of the the housing issue with the getting people off the streets and into permanent housing.
Absolutely. And then Creighton University is planning approximately $500 million of urban core investments over the next 10 years. And, they've been growing. The Med Center's been growing. I can't wait. The streetcar has been ordered. A lot of the cars have been ordered. The work's been done.
Yeah, she featured a lot of fun projects that are done or in the works, such as how many people have visited the parks, the Baby Bob, the Union Soccer Stadium, the Illuminarium Steelhouse, Tenasca Center for Engagement Arts, just project after project after project.
Well, and already she says that along the streetcar route, which isn't even in the ground yet, we'll be running on it the next few years, $1.2 billion in new development is underway on that corridor. So that's proof that we're headed in the right direction.
She also threw out something called the Tower District, which a friend of Girl Omaha, Jesse Calabretto, might want to talk to her about that name, but it'd be interesting to see what the Tower District is.
Yeah, our friend Jesse has over by the water tower at 84th and Highway 370 Northwest is a big development called the Tower District because of the water tower, but we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah.
Well, that is your Development News of the Week, sponsored by Eagle Mortgage. Go to eaglemortgagecompany.com. This is Trenton Magid and Brad Williams on the Grow Omaha Show right here on 1110 KFAB. We'll be right back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Hello, Grow Omaha fans. This is Krista Gilson.
Now I'm going to make you lie. It's 3 minutes.
What was it? Was that Chuck Rollery or who was that?
2 and 2.
We have the best coaches in the region to help you develop those skills. Has your athlete ever considered joining All-Star Cheer? We offer novice, regional, and national co-ed teams.
I was
the best teams in the country.
trying to look through this real quick. What was the number of lane miles? I know it was in here.
Was it 800 or something?
I hope I got that right.
You said 8,000. Was it 800?
No, I said 800.
If we raise $500,000 or more,
Oh, it doesn't matter at this point, but
No, that's what I was feeling. Next.
someone will email Jeff, and then Jeff will have to text us. So we're lying again.
Are you thinking about selling?
We screw up, Jeff gets the email.
Your lawyer?
Civic Square. What's that called now?
Local decisions about
Civic-
financing your goals for growth. Frontier is the
I want to say
best.
Civic Square, but that's not right.
We're not just good with money. You'll also find we're good with people too. Contact us at frontier.bank and get ready to start the conversation. Frontier Bank, good with money. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey John, why so glum? I just got
All right, I took care of True Athletics, right?
This is the
Mhm.
third time in the last 2 years. I'm done
Those-
with
you
this.
did that before Eagle Mortgage.
Your career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity.
Yeah, I don't know how you
And you don't need prior training.
lower property taxes when the houses in some neighborhoods have doubled in the last 10 years, prices, or more than doubled.
The demand is so high,
Yeah.
it's unreal.
So we'll just kind of take turns.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association
you
exists to
do
provide
that.
firearm
Overview, we'll
education,
say how
to
to
train
get
you,
started.
and to give you access to self-defense liability insurance so when the trouble comes, you're ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA. There is an exclusive...
Can I ask you this on air, but do you have any pushback from parents that want their kids to go to college, but the kids want to?
Not from our side, but I'm sure there is.
But some of the things you encourage the kids to go to trade schools and college,
Yeah.
but not college.
Well,
some
we have scholarships for becoming an industrial teacher at Wayne State.
So you go to because of teaching.
Yeah. For
Okay, so maybe we talk about that as well.
But yeah, we don't. Most of the kids that show up and take courses, I'm sure there's some parents they don't go that route, but they don't really understand what the pay rate and the salaries are for some of the trades now. And when they start to get educated, then compare that to how much loan they have to take out and how debt they're going to have. I've had former students that come to my door as an HVAC person, and I go, "You went to college for business. Why were you here?"
Here we go.
And also, a wrap up to our very conversation and potential legalization. All of it on the Emery Sunger podcast page at KFAB.com.
And welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. I am Trenton Magid. Jeff Beals has the weekend off, and Brad Williams is my co-host. And we have had a very busy week at NAI, NP Dodge, and ENA Consulting, but we're here with you now And I want to thank our title sponsor, Dingman's Collision Center, third generation, family owned, and they've been around since 1996 in Omaha. There's 4 locations: Northwest, Midtown, Omaha Southwest, and Papillion. Dingman's Collision Center has always chosen as the best in auto body repair every year since 2005. They do auto body, paint repair, and mechanical too. They use the real products, ladies and gentlemen. I've done a lot of real estate projects with Boyd Dingman and Travis and Andy, and not only do they do amazing work, they are just nice people. And you go in there, you get taken care of, well-trained technicians and staff, and so couldn't recommend Dingman's Collision Center any higher, and we appreciate their sponsorship. Well, we are pleased to welcome our guest, Mark Bowder, who is the Executive Director of Builders of the Future, a program to locate, encourage, and educate the next generation of construction trade specialists. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you for having me.
Ted Grace was kind enough to introduce us to you and your organization. I know it means a lot to him as well. Give us a quick overview of the Builders of the Future program.
Okay. Basically, Ted Grace was the co-founder of Builders of the Future, along with Steve Skidmore and a few more members of MOBA. It started in 1993, and if you remember, if you went to the Street of Dreams, it was a Playhouse project. So they had themes each year. The first couple of years, it ran as the home builders had their carpenters and finished carpenters build a tiny playhouse.
I remember those.
Yeah, and they did that for 2 years, and they found out there was a little issue trying to get, when people bought them or did the raffle, how to get those into the backyards of people that bought them. So then they changed the name to Builders of the Future in 1995, a couple years later, and they moved that task to the high schools. So schools were given money and lumber and materials to build different themes of houses, and they were moved out of the industrial labs and then taken to Street of Dreams and then sold. And that's kind of how it evolved. In 2001, they incorporated and became got a nonprofit, the Builder Foundation, and that was to help them do scholarships for the trades. So they were able to fund that a little bit easier if they did that from MOBA.
So you gave us an interesting statistic. For every tradesperson that retires, how many are entering into the building trades?
For every 5 trade people retiring, there's only 2 joining and going into the trades. And that's why we have such a deficit in the trades right now.
So that's not very sustainable numbers right there.
Yeah.
How do you get teenagers interested in the program and decide where they want to go into a trade?
Probably the biggest thing for us is to have the schools take on these bigger projects. You can talk all you want to kids about different things, but if you sit there and just listen, they don't get it. But if you get them to build things bigger than a bread box, if you get them to build doghouses, sheds, 10 by 10, 10 by 12 sheds, garages, fences, have them go out and do decks or basements, that's when they start to rub elbows with maybe a plumber or electrician, and they got to see, or a carpenter, and say, hey, this is what they do for a living. And that helps them figure out what they want to do.
And you were mentioned to us before the show that you do have bigger projects these days. So tell us about the big one that you're working on now.
Yeah, a couple years ago we wrote a grant, and I'm a glass half full kind of person. I looked at it and I said, we had DC West, John Brockhouse had somebody come to them and ask him if he would build a house. Well, that was right during COVID. Didn't quite go as well as we wanted. But then we said, okay, let's see if we can get other schools to do it. If you remember back in the day, 20, 30 years ago, Benson High School built houses. There was a school in Iowa, Council Bluffs did. Fremont built houses. So we thought, okay, let's try this again. So we wrote a grant. One of the major foundations around Omaha gave us $200,000 to get 5 school districts to try to start building houses. That each school would get $10,000 for tools, $10,000 for scaffolding, and $20,000 to pour a pad to build it on at the school site. And then once it's built at the school, then it's moved to a site and finished by a general contractor. The reason is the travel time, the lost of loading the kids in a bus, loading the tools, getting them to the job site, traveling back and forth, and unloading everything again, and unloading the kids. And all the liability goes with that. Makes it easier to just build it at the school.
Build at the school, and then you can pour a foundation somewhere, and actually it's skinny enough that you can put it 26 feet, you can get it on the streets.
Yeah, and certain cities say we have never done this before. Yeah, but there is houses moved everywhere in the country and it's in the city. But we made them 26 feet wide by 46 or 45. They can be a little longer. They just can't be any wider than 26.
Okay. Builders of the Future program, how can parents get in touch with you, learn more about it, and how can people contribute?
They can just call me. My number is 402-290-2235. They can email me at nebuildersofthefuture@gmail.com.
Say that again.
It's nebuildersofthefuture @gmail.com. They can also go to our website. It's just thebuilderfoundation.org. And they can just send us emails, phone calls. I'm on the road a lot, driving between schools.
So it's a not-for-profit. How are you funded?
We're funded all by grants and donations. A lot of our big donors are Omaha Bowder Realtors, the lumber yards like Builder Supply, Millard Lumber, Christensen Lumber, A&E, like Brad here works for. A lot of these companies, Turner Construction, they just Watkins Concrete. They donate money every year to help fund all these projects for these schools.
You were telling us that it's not only a problem getting kids into the trades, but now you're having this problem getting the teachers to teach the trades.
Yeah, there's a big shortage of teachers in Nebraska for industrial trades. Right now, I think there's about 10 teachers retiring every year in Nebraska for the trades. They're only producing approximately 4 teachers to fill those spots. So some schools have actually had to find custodians or a math teacher or a science teacher that has a little bit of background to come in and teach those classes. So the skill gap, even on the teacher end, is starting to hit us.
So we're at a unique time, and when it comes to education, and a lot of people are saying, I want to learn a trade. I don't want to send my kids to these colleges across the country. It's very expensive. They're not learning what they used to learn. And give us an idea of the kind of money that being trained in the construction industry, kids that maybe want to go to a trade school or go to college to learn about teaching in the trades. What kind of money are we talking about for some of these trades?
Well, if you start with a carpenter, they're going to probably make $25 to $30 or $35 an hour. If you get in some of the HVAC people, they're on the higher end, they could make $50 an hour. If they're at the commercial side, it's unbelievable the salaries that some of these people can make now compared to what they were 20 years ago.
And they don't have a bunch of school debt.
Right.
Are there programs that you guys help fund that takes away the cost of the education?
Yeah, we try to get scholarships for kids, anybody that wants to go to Metro. We also have a scholarship for anybody who wants to go to Wayne State. We give $10,000 to Wayne State to divide up into 4 scholarships. And we're just trying to get more kids because, like I said, only 4 are graduating each year with an industrial teaching degree. We're hoping to get that. Even to break even, you need about 8 or 10. And we're hoping that can grow into where we can get maybe 10 or 12 so we have a better quality of teachers out in the field.
What a great program. Give us that website again.
It's the website?
Yeah.
I have to look down. thebuilderfoundation.org.
Okay, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Mark Bowder, Executive Director of Builders of the Future. A great program, and I encourage you all to look it up and get involved, whether you have a student that is looking to do something like that, whether you want to contribute. Our success in the future of Omaha for the built environment depends on programs like this. So, Mark, thank you for coming on to the Grow Omaha show.
Thank you for having us.
And we appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to have the Noddle Development Spotlight, and we are going to talk about a lot of projects that Brad Williams has put into this month's construction update. So you're listening to Brad Williams and Trenton Magid right here on 1110 KFAB. We'll be right back.
I heard, was it a year or two ago, that if you had a Class B CDL, you could go work for any of the concrete companies. They would hire you instantly with no experience, pay you $35 an hour, and let you work as many hours as you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
To drive a concrete truck?
Yeah, $35 an hour, as many hours as you wanted.
Well, I don't know if you're in the financial. There is something on cleaning ladies down in Florida. Some are making $120,000 a year.
Wow.
Cleaning ladies?
Cleaning ladies.
Let's go.
And I'm thinking they probably do more than cleaning. They might run a staff, right? Because these are mansions they're taking care of.
Well, that's the one other thing I should have said was that a lot of these kids go and start their own businesses after they learn the trades. They can make a lot more.
Yeah, Jason Novotny is probably our star teacher, and at Fremont we have 40 schools. 90% of his kids will go directly in the trades or start their own business right out of this program.
Wow. So I think we covered a lot.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having us.
Pleasure.
Do you want me to get out of here before you start back up?
You're welcome to, or you're welcome to stay.
I'll stay a little bit and listen.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never been here, so I'll just watch now.
See how the sausage is made?
Yeah.
This commercial break's long, has the news and everything in it, so do a few minutes.
What?
Is there any priority? What ones you want to talk about?
How many people log in to watch your video?
Anything else we want to talk about? Or anything else you want to add to this?
It's all on YouTube. Okay, so
recognition and history walls and more. We have the
1190.
expertise to transform your space.
subscribers.
You want to talk about this? Or?
Okay, wow.
Steadily growing.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Personality. We've got you
Every time
covered.
Brad does a
Check us out
construction
today
update, though,
at
it bumps up a little
RINZ.com.
bit.
That's RENZE.com.
I had to look. Last time I looked, it was 400 or something, which was a little lower than normal. But we also kind of had a slow roll out of it this month because the day I was getting ready to post it is when my basement flooded, and then I never. We have a sump pump, drain tile, the whole 9 yards, but no battery backup, and the power went out, which was probably worse because instead of the water coming in like one low spot, it backed up into the drain tile throughout the house, and so it's all the water.
Wait, did your pumps quit?
The power went out.
Oh. So I had, like, after 30 years where my sump pump quit one time on a Sunday. I was leaving town like the next day. So I was out there. I went to Lowe's to go get the pump with the guy. And
Accidents are hard, but choosing a repair shop is
You're
Visit
454
Okay.
so far.
your power's out, you're screwed.
But you bumped this up to
At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize
1,210
for anything less.
subscribers.
Oh, cool.
It's gone up by 20 or 30 minutes, that video.
Subscribers for what?
I can make those videos if I had the time. Twice a month, probably. There's so much going on right now.
I'm just amazed when I drive around because I drive all the way up to Norfolk area. We have 13 schools up there, or 9 schools. We might have 13 next year. We have some in Iowa, but you just drive around and it's just everywhere. It's not just here; it's just everywhere.
It's amazing on that drive too how many miles of
He's our
highway
newest
they built.
subscriber to the newsletter.
You know that bypass that goes around Scribner now.
Yeah.
And then you get up by West Point when it goes to 4 lanes for.
I know. I love that because it saved me a lot of time.
Back, 15, 20 years ago, you get on that highway and all the cattle trucks on a weekday morning, and it was
slow,
awful. Because they had to slow down for every small town. And then by the time everyone got going, and there'd be backup behind them, I'm glad to see that wouldn't go 4 lanes.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB.
You hear people in Omaha say, why do you need all that highway up there? There's not that many people. It's like, have you ever driven that stretch of road? So busy.
Well, if it ever gets 4 lane all the way to Norfolk, it'd be really nice because there's a lot of traffic.
Closer.
Tomorrow afternoon, a high of 75. Another slight chance of rain Sunday night into Memorial Day Monday. Should be sunny and 77 for the afternoon. That's your forecast.
Yeah, sometimes that hurts those small towns, but
fans. This is Christy
you know, like
Gilson,
going around
gym
Scribner,
director
I don't
for
know if
Chair
there was
Athletics Omaha. Do you
a
have an
ton
athlete at home
of
that wants to start or
people
improve
going,
their
stopping there on the way. I don't even think they had a real gas station. They just had the co-op gas station. But like if they ever go around West Point, that might be a different story.
I don't know how they get around.
Yeah.
Because it's too. I think you'd have to go through a flood zone to get through there.
Go to caomaha.com.
Which the new Highway 30 going back in 1 minute, Fremont to Columbus, is all on the flood zone.
Get high quality paint. The Wisner area, they have to almost go north. I don't think they can go south.
Freshen up your home with a
Maybe
grand
they can.
finish with Pittsburgh Grand Distinction.
You might have to go through a couple towns.
It's a premium
Yeah.
paint primer
Slow
with
down, but-
excellent durability and comes in over 700.
At ENA, we did that new Highway 30 from Fremont to Schuyler. And I actually built a map of that whole floodplain north from and it goes so far north. I mean, it's just, I knew there it was big because the Platte River is big, but I never realized the extent of it until I worked on that map.
We were
Neat to see.
working with some of the tornado people that paraplegics that got hit with the house got knocked down. We were trying to get maybe one of the schools to build a house for them, right? And their floodplain is right up to the corner.
Oh.
I'm thinking, and it changed everything on the design.
And I'm sure you've heard that they redid the maps here in Omaha.
Yeah,
And
it comes out in October, December.
it's out, but they just have to approve it.
Yes.
But that's going to make a
News
mess.
Radio 1110
Here we go.
KFAB is free and convenient on our iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good for music, sports, talk, and...
And welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics Omaha. I am Trenton Magid. Jeff Beals has the weekend off, but he'll be here next week. And Brad Williams is joining me in the studio. And Brad is a principal at ENA Consulting Group, engineering firm. He is BradWilliamsPhotography.com. Beers with Brad. We didn't mention that at the start of the show. It's a podcast that's pretty fun.
It's a photography podcast with beer in it.
Oh, with beer in it. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll call that. And also, he's an integral part of Grow Omaha. The Nodal Development Spotlight is a feature that we do here. And you know Nodal Development as one of the premier developers in the Midwest. You think of Exarban Village, Valmont headquarters, the River's Edge, and Council Bluffs. And back in the day, they built First National Business Park and even Commercial Federal Business Park, which became now it's BMO or whatever they call it. But,
Bank of the West in between.
Yeah, and they're a busy developer, and you can find them at nodalcompanies.com. If you haven't been there lately, go check out the 108,000 square foot hybrid timber building down at 1501 Mike Fahey Drive, 15th and Mike Fahey Drive. I can announce that the tenant finally. There's a new fitness facility. It's called Fly Fitness Studio, and it will occupy part of the first floor. And this is the first one in Omaha. There's a couple in Lincoln. There's two in Fargo, North Dakota, and one in Loveland, Colorado. So that building is taking shape. It's part of the Builders District, and it's pretty neat. And switching to Exarban Village, if you're looking for a few new restaurants and entertainment this weekend, Tiny's Pizza is now open in the inner rail at Exarban Village. Exarban Village Farmers Market is now every Sunday through October 13th. The market will take place from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Exarban Village at 67th and Mercy Road. And if you didn't get a chance, Brad, to go to Lemon Fresh Day last night, there's more live music at Sonny's, which is that Airstream trailer right next to HDR. They have cocktails. All kinds of fun treats, and tonight, starting at 8 p.m., you can join. You can jam out with DJ Skyscraper. That's one of your favorites, right. I think. And tomorrow will be the very talented Chris Saab from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday. And that's your real estate development spotlight, brought to you by Nodal Companies.
So I've never heard of DJ Skyscraper, but I will recommend Lemon Fresh Day. They are a fun band.
Yeah, great cover. I've loved them for decades.
They've been around Omaha for a long time, and they do an awesome job.
But Skyscraper fits in well with the theme of our show.
It does.
So we like that. So go to nodalcompanies.com and check out what they can do for you. Well, Brad, one of the things I've always admired about you, and you and I have known each other for 20-something years. We both went to Westside High School. But to watch you grow in the industry, not just working at ENA Consulting Group and becoming a partner there, but Brad Williams Photography and things you do for major corporations and organizations in Omaha, your print photography, your videos, your drone.
No drones.
No drones?
Helicopter.
Oh, helicopter, yes.
Yeah.
You are the drone.
I like to be in the air.
You like to be in the drone.
Yes.
But helicopter work. But a couple years ago, you came up with the Brad Williams Grow Omaha Construction Update brought to you by Leader Construction. And since then, if you go to growomaha.com and you look up the construction updates, you can see a great history and see plenty of tower cranes, what's going on. And what I thought would be neat is, in this segment, is to feature some of those projects. And let's start with the feature project by Leader Construction.
Yeah, so Leader Construction, awesome local builder. They have been sponsoring the Grow Omaha Construction Update for over a year now. And every month we feature one of their projects. We've done everything from H&H Kia out there, Steel Ridge, to apartment develop on 39th and Dodge. Well, this month we featured they're building a brand new facility for the Boys and Girls Club, the Carter Lake location. It's you don't see it, but if you're at Epley, you're real close. It's right across the lake behind the trees, and they're building a great facility that will open this fall. So this fall to have before and after school activities, and then next summer the summer camp they have there will also use the facility.
Sounds like a much needed facility. The Clove Apartments, 78th and Dodge, that used to be, they tore down like an old motel, I think, and a Village Inn.
Motel and a Village Inn. Yeah, it really looks neat. It's a pretty substantial structure. You're driving down Dodge. It's done really nice with brick and rock, and right next to the little fire station.
That's a $34 million project, 4 stories, and then they do kind of like a pedestal. That's the new thing, is to save on, you don't have to get too much land if you're putting the parking underneath the
well, not only is it save land, but it's also an amenity to the renters that keep their car in with when this month where we have a severe thunderstorm every other day. It's a great feature to have.
Absolutely. Keep it out of the floodplain, too. That's 175 units. Switching out to West Maple Road, at 183rd and Big Elk Parkway, you see this red structure, this big steel structure, big piece of land, St. Patrick's Catholic Church. That seems like quite a project.
Yeah, so their current location's on 204th and Maple, and they're just outgrowing the facility, and so they're building. They're landlocked there. They don't have any more room. They're building this new church and parish hall on. It's like 186th and Maple. It's called Big Elk Parkway, but basically it's 186th Street.
The Costco. There's been a lot of rumors that Sam's was going to go out there. I'm not sure they're going out there now. Last I heard, they're not. But it would make sense for them to try to compete. Costco at 180th and West Maple Road looks like it's enclosed, and it's really going fast. I think that's opening up in like July, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on. They announced it on their website, the exact opening time. But those warehouse, once they get them enclosed, there's not a lot of interior finishes that need to be done, so they go pretty quick.
So that's our third Costco in Omaha, and then. Back to Dodge Street, Bankers Trust Company, Sam Mosser, who runs that bank, 192nd and West Dodge Road on the southwest corner. It's an Iowa-based bank. It's been in Omaha for over 15 years. Tell us about that facility.
Well, yeah, thanks for getting me the information from them. I was having a little bit of problem finding. A lot of times I find information pretty easily on these projects, but that one was a little tricky. But they were very nice enough provide us with information. They, like you said, have been in Omaha for 15 years. I didn't know that, but they have an office out there at the First National Business Park on 144th and Dodge, and this will be their first full-service retail location with all the typical banking features: tellers, drive-through lanes, ATMs.
And that's right by that MD1 in that Avenue 1 district, right there on 192nd. Heading east on Dodge, there was a lot of talk about this, but over by Shields, Cheddar's. There's a Cheddar's at L Street Marketplace that's been there probably for 10 years or so. And Cheddar's builds a really nice building, and they have pretty good average food as far as I'm concerned. But tell us about that.
It's just like you said, in Shields parking lot, just straight north of the movie theater or straight east of Firebirds. Second location, I don't know too much to say about it other than it's a popular restaurant.
It's very popular. I go to Firebirds all the time, but I know a lot of people go to Cheddar's. They probably won't be one of my sponsors for a while, but it'll be a nice facility. One project that we get a lot of calls on over at Heartwood Preserve, the old Boys Town property, there's this massive, it's actually at 144th and Dewey you covered. It's a giant concrete structure. and people want to know if it's if it's the military or what's going on over there.
So the part they're building now is a 5-story parking garage. And it actually, the parking garage, you won't see when the project is done because the apartment building will then be built around the outside of the parking garage, hiding it in the middle. It's very similar to what Broadmoor did on the south side of Center, just east of Exarban Village. The one thing that they did say is this location, besides having a lot of similar features, will have more amenities than the Exarban.
Broadmoor builds an excellent project. They've got thousands and thousands of apartments. They've been in Omaha for decades, and they always do a great job. The last project I want to touch on before the break is 72nd and Dodge. That structure, the topping off ceremony we talked about last week, Omaha Central Library. Give us an update on that.
So what I said in the video is that the building, the renderings looked neat. It looked like a neat, cool library. But when you drive by that in person, that building is so much bigger than I ever pictured from seeing those renderings.
Everybody says that.
It is huge.
No, I'm excited to see that. It's going to be more than books, obviously, and it's going to be very interactive, and I think it'll be a great social meeting spot, and kudos to all the stakeholders on that. Well, it's time to take our final break. When we come back, we're going to have the lightning round sponsored by Perkins Kreitzer Construction, and you're listening to Brad Williams and Trenton Magid. We'll be right back in a few minutes right here on KFAB 1110.
Driven by any of Anderson convenience
We
markets
didn't-
in metro area locations.
We didn't say where to find the video.
Quality Amoco
People know, but
for the Amoco logo.
it's on the website. That's usually what we tell people.
Amoco was one of the most iconic fuel brands in America, and now
Actually presented.
If they look up Groma, they're going to find the construction videos.
prepared with the invigorating
Presented about the construction video once to MOBA. They had the annual meeting out at the movie theater in Turner Ford. So I did kind of went over how it got going and my history of it, and then we actually watched the whole construction update on the giant movie screen. Yeah, so it was kind of fun.
Scott, it's amazing. People, I met some guy that's in the fixture business, store fixture business, and he's like, sometimes the newsletter doesn't get up until like 5 or 6 o'clock on Thursday. Like people, we had another guy that said, can you, like in real time, can you send us leads and new businesses coming to Omaha and stuff like that? People it's like, dude, you're getting this for free. What do you? Yeah. I mean, but I'm sure they call you guys and want crazy shit. I mean,
I always offer listeners their money back if they're not satisfied.
That's awesome. I'm going to use that.
Number 2376.
Some people just know the best
Goes
rate
fast,
for you
doesn't it?
is a
Yeah, it
rate
does.
based on you. With Allstate,
lot more work than it-
not one based on anyone else.
When you listen to it.
So if you
It's a lot
drive
more work behind the
safely,
scenes,
you
like
could save
everything.
money.
Right.
Good to know. Visit Allstate.com.
But anyway, this is
or call
our
for
probably
a quote today.
1,000, maybe 1,100th show. 2004.
It's crazy that Jack's graduating today. He wasn't even born when the show started. And then when I started coming to the show, he was a little kid.
He used to climb on me.
Yeah.
He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis,
January's the anniversary, was the 20th anniversary.
January 10th.
Do new companies
2004.
move into town talk to you guys? Or
made me want to help
Come-
others know about
We get it from all
some
sources.
kind of information, or it come from the mayor, or what?
Mayor listens, and she loves our show. She always tells me she loves our show. She learns from our show. But her office, we get it from a number of places. They email the news at growmoha.com, or Jeff knows people and I know people.
The video, a lot of the information I get for the video comes from planning board agendas, building permits.
How much time are we going to have, Scott?
You will
If I
come
see
back and
something
have
like dirt moving, or I'll
treatment.
you can find the building permits online. I'll just go look it up. Yeah, it usually gives.
You'll give me, what, a minute before the music starts?
Approximately
when you hear the music, that's 35
Planning board
seconds.
gives more information, of course.
You want me to give you a 1 minute?
That's fine.
I guess you could
And
listen to
then
those
a
because they're
minute later
online.
start the music?
Like,
Yeah, but
30 seconds for the music,
really
just so I
nice
can
website.
Okay, so 30 seconds for the music. I'm going to give you 1 minute.
Familiar with Omaha
So when I give you this, that means 1 minute.
GIS.org.
30 seconds later, you'll
So
hear
they
the
have
music.
planning board has their own version.
So that'll be
of that.
until
I'll give you
Go to the planning board
10
website, it's on
seconds,
there.
and then we got to go.
So you're cutting me off?
Each project will be on there in orange.
Here we go.
Emery
See what it is. Do the same thing.
Emery, when you get wound up.
2 to 6 on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
And welcome back to the Groma Show. I am Trenton Magid, joined by Brad Williams, and Jeff Beals will join us again next week. He is at his son's graduation. Congratulations once again, Jack. We talked about the Brad Williams Grow Omaha construction video. You can see those right at growomaha.com. Just go to the construction videos, and you'll see all the action-packed. And you can go and see a few years of those, so figure out what's going on in Omaha. It is time for the lightning round, brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction. Perkins Kreitzer Construction, you can see them at p-cconstruction.com. Dave Kreitzer does an amazing job of running that organization. It is a full-service, Class A general contractor based here in Omaha that serves Omaha, Lincoln, Council Bluffs, and numerous cities around here. They have experienced construction team of project managers, project administrators, superintendents, carpenters, laborers, many of their with over 30 years of experience in the industry. If you want to see whether it's retail, education, religious, industrial, financial, restaurants, you can see a lot of their work at the newly envisioned Miracle Hills Shopping Center on the west side of 114th north of Dodge Street. Have you seen that lately? They really cleaned that up.
Yeah, it's after sitting vacant for so long, it really looks great.
And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the Boston Market building. You got FedEx over there, and
I met with them, and they said they have a great idea or a great lead or something, but they couldn't tell me any information. So
that's all right. But they've definitely cleaned up the neighborhood, and that was a long time coming. So thank you to Perkins Kreitzer Construction, and this is your lightning round. Well, if you ever wondered what to do with a basement at if you're in Dundee, 4917 Underwood Avenue, next to Good Looking, there's a strip center and Duck Bottle Shop, a combination bottle shop, a bookstore, and outdoor bar is coming soon to Dundee. The shop will host a handful of spirits and non-alcoholic botanicals. I didn't know you could drink those, amongst books and other ideas, all on a rotating menu of cocktails that can be enjoyed in the backyard. So check them out. Have you ever heard of Foaling Warehouse?
Foaling Warehouse?
We've talked about it for a few years. There's a friend of ours that bought a franchise. It is a 50,000 square foot space. Foaling rhymes with bowling. It's a mashup between football and bowling. It is scheduled to open in mid-July, just 2 blocks north of 50th and Fort Street. The space will have 30 lanes of foaling, 2 full bars, and dedicated meeting space. The Foaling Warehouse can accommodate individuals, families, companies, outings, and large events. Our friend Mark Wolf, we wish him the best of luck on Omaha's first Foaling Warehouse. Now I've seen every sport and every entertainment known to man offered in Omaha.
Yeah, it's really cool. But I mean, you go to some of these places and they're a lot of fun, and families and kids love them. And like for work outings, they're a lot of fun to do different things too.
I've always said we need more coffee shops and we need more coffee shop chains. Moon Hollow Coffee has officially opened an Omaha location at 5102 North 156th Street near Fort. The coffee lounge drive-through existing location is in Blair at 1406 Washington Street. Are you a fan of Wahlburgers?
I've never had a Wahlburger.
I like them in Las Vegas, especially after a night of drinking, or at least people around me are drinking. They've officially opened. I've never had a beer with Brad. Well, maybe I have. Wahlburgers has officially opened inside the Hy-Vee at 3410 North 156th Street near Crumble Cookie and Smoke and Goat. The fast casual chain now has 7 Omaha locations in Hy-Vees. I've been to the one at the world's largest Hy-Vee out on 192nd and Highway 370. There's soon to be one coming to the one at 132nd and Dodge as well. Well, the second location of Charred Burger has officially opened at Southport, over right across the street where Smash Park is going, and Charred does a great job. It'll be open that strip center right next to
Panda Express and Jersey Mike's.
Yep, and Yep, and Starbucks and all of those. Let's pick one more. Westwood Plaza, Vive le Rock. The latest tenant in Westwood Plaza opened. It is described as a rock-themed lounge offering your favorite cocktails in a rock-tastic atmosphere. So we have to check that out.
Yeah, that sounds like fun too.
Well, Brad, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Mark Bowder for being on the show today. And you're listening to Brad Williams, Trenton Magid on Grow Omaha. We'll see you next week.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.